Hi, welcome back, everyone. We're always happy to have you.
Hey.
So I know that we talk about energy often. You know,
Yes.
if it isn't energy, it's vibrations, it's sounds, it's something.
Frequency, it's
Because
nature, yes.
that's what runs the world, honestly, right?
Exactly.
We're all running off energy, okay?
Yes.
But particularly, I just thought it was interesting, right? Because this is about energy leakage.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Leakage. So before we even dive into energy leakage, guys, go ahead and like and subscribe if you have not done so already. To the new viewers out there, we see you, we appreciate you, and we love you. To the old viewers, okay, we appreciate your continued support. Go ahead, hit the bell for notification because we do drop videos like this every single week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that we're done with that, back to the tea. Leakage.
Yes. So, I've always thought about it in a sense where like our energies are going to affect somebody and our proximities, right?
That's true.
But what I never considered about it was the fact that we could leak out our own energy.
Yeah.
And when we go over the examples of how we can leak our energies, I mean, even just reacting to something in a way that we didn't want to is energy leakage, right?
Yeah.
You probably didn't think about it that way.
That's true.
But it's important to know that because then I feel like that motivates us to preserve our energy even more.
Exactly.
And fight the temptations,
right?
To release our energies.
And we're going to go ahead and give you a tip later on then how to preserve that energy and even on how to receive it. Because a lot of us too, we have that blockage up where if the universe and God wanted to send us something, we can't even receive it because the wall's up. Hello.
Right.
So,
we stumbled upon this information. Why is it important, right? Well, would you care to know that if I told you energy is something that rich people prioritize? Like prioritize, okay?
Yes,
now, I'm seeing a trend amongst, the rich people, honestly. All the things that people ridicule in the lower class, like learning about astrology or getting into energy and all those other things that we can see, the metaphysical world, the lower and middle class will ridicule these topics, while the upper class and the 1% will literally write paragraphs and books about this stuff.
Okay, and use it to their best ability because, hello guys, these are all tools. They're placed here for a reason.
Yes.
Why not have a self-taught book or book about you, the life of you, okay, from A to Z? And why wouldn't you have access to that or even use it to become a better version of yourself? It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And we should start really paying attention to the rich folks, guys, because honestly, there's a reason why they're staying rich. It's the knowledge that they're passing on to their lineage. It is
the continued improvement.
You know what I'm saying? Like they know a system that worked and then they passed it along to their generations. All right. Now, let's not get too sidetracked about that and narrow in on the energy leakage. Okay.
Yes.
Now, why do rich people prioritize their energy so much? It's because you need that to fuel your dreams. For example,
your passion.
Exactly. You don't have energy, you're not going to put it towards what's going to help you, what's going to make you grow, right?
Because energy and the willingness goes hand in hand. If you have the energy, then you have the will, you have the drive to move mountains, to create, to manifest. Without energy, where are we? We're stuck.
We're stuck in one place. That's usually where you get very stagnant. You don't really
lack of will.
You don't want to try anything new. You're used to how it's used to be, and you're okay with that. Okay, that we don't want that for you. Now, energy leakage, just to go a little bit more into detail.
Yeah, of like the broad summary of what it is. So
yes,
energy leakage is basically going to people, places, or things that is unworthy of your time and attention. So when we think about what the rich people are doing again, they're not entertaining people, places, or things.
They're the most selective people.
Very selective. Exactly. That's unworthy of their time.
Yeah. Or attention or anything. Like, you ever said the wrong thing to a rich person and they almost kind of shut you up? Like, Like it's something they're not really concerned about or worried about.
Yeah, like that was not even on my radar. Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Put a stop in
Like
that.
that's on purpose, and they keep their mind a certain way.
Yeah.
They keep it tight knit, and keeping your mind a certain way also involves the people you keep around you and things like that. Back to the being selective thing again.
Yeah.
Just giving your attention to anything. Another example of like crazy energy leakage would be like road rage.
And it happens so instantly.
It happens instantly, easily, and you almost feel out of control.
Yeah.
Somebody cuts you up, or cuts you off, or flip you off, or whatever the terminology is for these road activities.
Yeah.
And you're ready to hop out your car while it's moving and choke the guy. You know what I mean? Like,
come on.
That's energy leakage.
Let's have some decorum.
Ready to be explosive. I mean, think of a battery that went bad and it's sparking.
Okay.
Oh, it's touching everything and it's just sparking, ready to start a fire.
Yeah.
That's an example.
That is a good example. A common example that you all must are aware of is because honestly, we always want to create a safe space for friends and families to vent, of course, right? To talk to us about the problem. But be careful, because if you're not creating that space, it can turn to venting to energy leakage.
Right.
And that is basically when your friends or family or whatever the case is are constantly calling you or complaining or gossiping about the same situation back and forth, right? And it's like you've already done, say it was a bad relationship, you already done give that friend advice, right? But that friend's not leaving the situation. But yet every other day that friend's calling you about that same problem, well, you are giving yourself up to energy leakage because you're putting your time and attention into this relationship and she's into your friendship, right? But the problem, she's not getting rid of the problem. So you're consistently have to deal with her problem, which is dragging you down.
And those moments, guys, are more dangerous to our state of mind than we realize, okay? Because I like to think about it like this. Anything that repeats itself, I look at it kind of like a commercial, like a program.
Yes.
Like a mental program.
A pattern.
You can literally let your friends and family program your mind with stuff you don't even want, stuff you don't use, stuff that's useless to you.
Yeah.
By listening and giving them your energy and attention. And I know that there are people like that, right? Who were very like, oh, I just don't go anywhere, or I don't do. And I used to not even look at them a certain way, but I would classify them and be like, okay, so they're the type of person who don't really do nothing. They don't really, and it might have a negative connotation to it, but they're actually doing it the right way. You have to be selective about where you step out, okay, who you talk to,
exactly.
Even if you're thinking like, oh, why not, like, or it's no big deal, or it's just casual, that little thing that you're feeding, it might turn into something you don't want.
It's a habit that you could build into, and it eventually becomes like the snowfall effect, like the snowball, like the huge one, because you're you could be people pleasing at that instance, kind of oh, it's whatever, right? She just calls and I let her chat and vent. But then after the end of that conversation, you're drained, but she's okay.
Yeah, she feels good because she let it all off her chest, and she's just like, ugh, finally. Now, guys, I'm not saying, we should stop being that. We're not talking about the quality of the friends, to stop being good friends to your family, loving, whatever.
And not,
of course, it's great to be a listening ear, but what we're talking about is the repetitiveness of these things. So while your friends and family is venting, it's great to vent, but if it's a problem that they're bringing up, I think it's important to mention a solution.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that sets them up to remember, like, hey, you're not going to keep on bringing up problems to me just to talk about them. Especially for me, like, I'm sorry, y'all, I don't like talking about your problems.
I don't either.
I don't. Sorry. And unless you're asking me for a solution, then I love to, draft you some solutions to your problems. My mind just works that way. Like, oh, I know how you can get out of this. But if you literally just want to talk to me about it, and I see how you are discontent and you're not happy with the scenario, but you just want to get it off your chest, I'm not the one. Go to your therapist, okay?
No, seriously. That's what
Go to your psychiatrist. They will listen to you for nothing.
Yeah.
for nothing. You know what I mean?
Not for nothing, honey.
And if you love me, you're not gonna dump your stuff on me respectfully, because I don't do that to people. Mm-mm. If anything, I'll shy away. I'll not, I'll stop talking to you for a few days when something's up with me, but I'm not gonna dump my stuff on you.
Yeah, because we have self-regulation. That's what that looks like. It's like, oh, I have this huge thing consuming my time, but I don't want to bother you with it. Let me regulate myself emotionally, intellectually, see what's going on. Then it's like when I come to you and talk to you about it, it's coming from a healed or solved perspective already.
But you see how that itself is showing the other person love.
Yeah. Because not be considerate of
that person. Exactly. So it's just like, you know what? I don't want my disturbed energy, because that's all you're doing is transferring that energy to someone else, which is what venting can do. I mean, be ready for their energy to be transferred onto you if you don't know how to lock yourself up energy-wise so that you're a closed circuit.
Okay. Period. So
nothing's getting in or out.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a way to do that.
There is. And that's the perfect segue into leading on to how to preserve your energy. So we're going to go through with some tips, right? Mm-hmm. But we're going to start off with what you've mentioned, the closing and zipping up your cloak energetically. Did y'all know that y'all could do that?
Oh, yeah. So we all have an aura. We have an
6 feet wide.
Okay. We talked about that 6 feet.
Yes, we did.
Significance of that. Mm-hmm. And there is a ritual or practice, whatever you want to call it, that you can do on a daily basis before you go step out in front of people, exposed to millions of people.
Yes.
You can do this to preserve your energy so that you are stable throughout the day.
Exactly. And it's been tested by science. I mean, you could even test it yourself with a partner or friend, and you can see the difference from before and after you cloak up your energy. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool because it involves all your chakra points, and it involves locking it too. So Absolutely. Then you maintain your own energy, and you could go out there into the world, and no matter what havoc or whatever may come across, you're good. Mm-hmm. And it's a good practice, like you said, to keep up with it consistently. And we could go ahead into a different video later on to step by step walk you through that.
Okay? On how to do that, yes.
So the next one we have here for how to preserve energy, and this is a fun one because we all know about it already. It's just boundaries. We talked about boundaries plenty of times, but it's about knowing yourself and what you can and can't handle. I can only be out there. Say, for example, I can only be out and doing social activities for 2 hours. Okay, when it's about to be 1:50, I already know I'm about to make my way on out because I've reached that social battery. Mm-hmm. If you know yourself to that T, then that's what it is. Yeah. So boundaries is just knowing yourself and what you can and you can't handle.
That's it.
That will definitely help you preserve your energy because you could get out of a situation before you even start noticing your energy depleting.
Ooh. Like Batman, like Superman. All right, now be out of there.
Okay.
All right. So another thing that's very important. Yes, we've heard it many times. Things like take a deep breath or 5 minutes deep breathing. Right. Yeah. Breathing is so important to your body and your cells and your vitality. It's just it's so important, guys. I mean, and we might need to do another video on breathing itself, but just there's different breathing techniques that can literally release the body from feeling certain things, from certain health conditions. I mean, breathing and humming put together, there's a practice I ran into that it can even help decalcify your pineal gland just by breathing and humming.
Yeah.
It's just crazy what breathing can do for you.
Yes.
So when somebody's like, take a deep breath, relax, they're probably sensing the fiery energy coming out. And then you just need to take a moment. And it literally works. Like whatever you were upset about, guys, I promise you, you won't be as upset. And you'll start thinking differently about the situation.
Exactly. And I love that technique because it doesn't take time. It doesn't take money. It doesn't take you stepping outside anywhere. You could just do it right here and now.
Right now.
And the last way we have here to preserve your energy is calling on your crystals. I mean, guys, we have Source, God, the universe has given us tools for us to use. Okay, crystals being one of them. And things with tools is using them accurately. So if you dive into your crystals, each crystals assist with different things. So now do your research, okay? If you're wanting to be a crystal that's more so protective energy or protecting and grounding you, then look and find those crystals and, actively call on them. And also when you're calling on them too, because they're doing their job, make sure you cleanse them.
Oh yeah.
Okay, recycle that.
It's important to know how to maintain each crystal each crystal has its own way of maintaining it and to get the maximum benefit from it.
Yes.
So it's very important to do your research on these crystals as well, on maintenance and cleansing and everything else, so that you get the max benefit every time you need it.
Okay, because a tool is as good as how you maintain it and keep it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like your house.
Okay.
Yes. So it's important, to make sure we don't leak our energy when we don't mean to.
Yeah.
We preserve it when we want to.
Yes.
And that we're also lastly open to the energy that we do want.
Ooh. So being open to receiving energy.
Absolutely.
Now, you wouldn't think some people struggle with that, right? But they do.
Especially when it comes to receiving love and things like that, all of those other things. That's the same as receiving energy, guys. If you aren't open to receive that energy, you're closed off to it, and you're going to confuse the universe because it's going to send you more anti-love, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay.
So you have to tell the universe, okay, what are you open to? What are you closed to? What do you want more of? What you don't want any more of?
Yes, because they're constantly speaking with us, and we're responding whether you know it or not. So one of the great tips to receive energy is focusing on your body language.
Oh, yeah.
We want to be open with it, okay? If I'm sitting right here and my body language is closed and cut off, like, what is that saying to you? Do I want to be here?
Mm-mm.
No. But if my hands are open and I'm making eye contact and smiling, right? It's open body language. You can come up in my space. I'm friendly. I'm not going to bite. I'm open, and I'm in my open receiving energy to get that blessing.
Yes. And so that other friendly people who are pouring out the love energy is going to want to talk to you. They're attracted to you now because it's like, oh, okay, she's so nice.
Okay.
Look at her, friendly and everything.
Yes.
Next thing you know, you're making friends. Like, you are, listen, all right?
We love that for you.
That's what we want for you.
Okay.
So be open to the energy you want. Close out the energy you don't want.
Yes.
And preserve your energy. Okay?
Period.
Oh, yeah. By the way, you nasty guys, there is one way to express your energy that's unhealthy. That we probably will make another video about in another time.
Yes.
But masturbation as well is also energy leakage. Okay. You don't want that. Like, you don't want to disperse your energy when this is something that you can use, hold it in to create. Okay, y'all?
Yeah, so what do you guys think about this topic? I mean, for you, if we're looking internally, right, and we're being accountable, right, where have you been giving your energy away as a viewer?
Yeah.
I'm sure we can start making lists and being being intentional with that, right? Because energy is time, and those are the things. That's why the risk value is so much, because we can't get that back.
Yeah.
So it's just like making that list. Okay, where have I been giving it away to? People, places, or things? Well, make that list.
Yeah. And then make another list for where you want to give it towards, where you want your energy to go towards.
Yeah.
That way you are, transmuting the energy from where you don't want it to go to where you want it to go.
Yeah.
And honestly, guys, it might make you feel guilty at first, that you are preserving your energy. Don't let the world make you feel like that. The world is so used to just stealing your time, taking up your time, and fill your head with a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need, that we are trained to feel guilty when we want the time for ourselves. Don't let yourself feel like that.
No way.
Take your time back, take your energy back,
okay,
and give it to where you want to give it to.
Period. And with that being said, guys, we do drop videos like this every single week, y'all, okay? So go ahead and like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Hit the bell for notification, and guess what?
See y'all next week.
Bye.